There we are. Hey guys, welcome to today's Q&A here this Tuesday morning for me. I'm in Montana. But noon o'clock. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. This is a Q&A that really opens up the doors for you to ask your questions and get them answered right now. So all you need to do is put your question in the chat and I'll be able to answer them. We're talking trucking jobs here at Decker Truckline. Decker has been around since 1931, a very strong, stable company, and we are nominated yet again for year number 3 for the best fleets to drive for. So we're eager to hear that. That's fun, exciting, good news, love it. So anyways, if you have questions, please put them in the chat so that between myself and Katie's behind the scenes there, you'll be able to get those answered. Hi, Peter, how are you? Good to see you. So we have a couple of things to celebrate this week. We have, it is, well, I don't know about your area, but it is warming up a little bit in my area. And when I say warming up, I mean, like it hit above zero this morning. Starting the car, it is now above zero. So I'm pretty excited about that. A lot of you guys are still dealing with a lot of the negative temperatures, and we will be as well. Here in Montana, we've got some blizzard warnings until Thursday, from this evening till Thursday evening. So we've got that to contest, and then I know a lot of you guys in the Midwest have been and seeing a lot of weather as well. Actually, all over the place, right? Peter says, well, a snowflake fell in Mississippi and they shut down the whole state. Yeah, it's been, I mean, Texas has been getting it, Mississippi, I mean, they've been getting it all over. So I know in Iowa, the tow ban's been up. I know the tow trucks haven't really been out there and helping as much because they've been bogged down. I do know that the roads are open and people are moving, but moving at slow pace. So as always, please make sure that you are checking out the 511 or the weather app, road conditions for the area that you're driving in, and take a look, plan ahead. Also, with our trucks, we have Epic View Satellite TV in them. They're smart TVs, but you can get the local channels as well. So when you stop, you can do a scan for the local channels and get a weather update as well, if that's something you guys are interested in. So, all right, okay. We had some missed birthdays and anniversaries yesterday, so I want to take a second and hit on those. I know we don't normally do those here on our YouTube channel, but I want to make sure that I don't miss them, right? You got to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. Who do we have coming up today? Jeffrey Brewer is celebrating his 5-year anniversary here. So Jeff, happy anniversary. Zoe Anderson is celebrating an anniversary here. They're at the Welcome Center, year 1. So congratulations. For the rest of the week, let's see, the 17th, tomorrow, we have Raymond Rohrig celebrating 6 years here at Decker. Congratulations, Raymond. Cody Norris is celebrating his 1 year along with Austin Pettinger on Thursday the 18th. Dustin Newman is celebrating 3 years coming up here on January 20th. Blaine Martin. Blaine, who wants to take a guess at how many years Blaine's been here at Decker? He's worn many hats. When I first started back in 2010, when I joined the Decker family, he was my go-to for whatever question I would get asked. So Blaine is celebrating his 29th year here at Decker. So congratulations, Blaine. Happy anniversary. Cynthia Seagreen is celebrating her 5-year anniversary. So congratulations to Cynthia. And speaking of owning, wait, what? Oh, I can't give this one out till next week. I'm telling you, we have got one of the biggest anniversaries coming up next week. So stay tuned for that one. But for birthdays, who else do we have here? We do have Desmond Thomas celebrating a birthday on the 17th. Yes, Desmond. And we also have Michael Denham, Christopher Franklin and Robert Jenkins also on the 17th. So celebrating birthdays tomorrow. Happy birthday. Christopher Brooks is celebrating a birthday on Thursday the 18th. Randy Pratt, Avery Reed, Terrence Sadler, Dean Sosek, all celebrating on the 19th. Happy birthday, you guys. All celebrating on the 19th. That's what? Friday? Good deal. Friday the 19th. Paul Duckworth and Kevin Thompson celebrating a birthday on the 20th, sharing that birthday with Mr. Dale Decker, our CEO, and Melissa Johnson. Melissa Johnson Reed celebrating a birthday on the 20th as well. So happy birthday to each of you. Happy birthday, happy anniversary. So if you guys see anybody out there this week, please give them a happy birthday. Give them a shout out. Well, hello, Elizabeth. How are you? Or is that Jacob? I can never tell. The Combs there. Good to see you. Thanks for being on here. All right. Okay, so in addition to warning you about the weather, telling you we're making baby steps, but like I said, we have, I apologize, I'm eating a cough drop. We are dealing with more weather coming up, so please be well aware of that. If you aren't aware of some of the resources that we have available here at Decker and actually on our YouTube channel, you can access our YouTube channel and look for APU troubleshooting videos. They seriously are very helpful. Our shop has taken the time to put some of those together for us in how to troubleshoot some of the APUs and the bunk heaters to get those ready. I know a lot of you are dealing with it. This is just some peace of mind and can save you out on the road. Now that it may not solve it, and if it doesn't, please reach out to our shop, our maintenance department, so that we can do our best to take care of you in these negative, very cold temperatures while you're out there. But yeah, they have taken the time to do those, and they've helped a lot of people. Actually, tens of thousands of people have watched that video and found use for it. So that's fantastic. Please take a moment to use it. And then also, I think there's 4 videos out there on that. And then also, we have how to chain, a video on how to chain. Liam shows you how to properly chain a tire. I know as a professional driver, you may not ever chain, but you do need to know, because if you get caught in that instance, it's not to throw the chains and to get down the road, 100, 200 miles. That's not the case. Putting chains on is to get you out of trouble, not to get you into it. So if you need help to get out of trouble, watch the video and know how to properly chain a tire. And then, of course, frozen brakes. And we've had some suggestions as well on how to fix frozen brakes or loosen up frozen brakes. And that's also available on our YouTube channel. And if you haven't already downloaded one of the 5, 6, 10 apps that are out there, I know there's quite a few, for the weather apps, please take your time to do that. There's Facebook groups out there that give up-to-date information as well. But yeah, the apps are just immediate. They're up-to-date and ready to rock. All right, so what else can I tell you? Should we dive into some of the available positions that we've got here at Decker? Fair enough. Like I said, if you guys have any questions at any time, please put it in the chat and I'll be able to answer them as they come in. All right? Okay, as for available positions, we do have our over-the-road refrigerated division. It runs coast to coast. Now, most of the runs in this division are west of the Mississippi. So a lot of Northwest, a lot of Midwest. We have freight, refrigerated freight into Georgia as well. Georgia, Alabama, Texas. So it is coast to coast. We don't do a whole lot in the New England states. We have, like an ice cream load in southeastern or southwestern New York. But yeah, few and far between. We try to stay out of there for the most part. But most of our freight is going to be west of the Mississippi in our over-the-road refrigerated division. Now we have more regional refrigerated divisions as well, especially around the Midwest. If you're looking to stay east of Denver, that is not unheard of right now. If you're looking to stay east of Denver, that is an option. You do need to communicate with your driver manager about that. And if you are looking to come aboard to Decker, make sure those are questions you're asking your recruiter. In some areas, we can't keep you out of the West. If you live in, give an example here. If you are living in Wyoming and you don't want to go west, we do a lot of west. In order to get you home, we're going to need to do a lot of west. If you live in Idaho and you don't want to go run a whole lot of west, again, that's an area that I wouldn't be able to promise you that you wouldn't go that direction, because in order to get you home, we'd have to get those runs. But then we also have those who live in, say, Alabama or Georgia. If you live there and you don't want to go west of Denver, that is doable out of that location. And your home time is all going to be based off where you live as well. So if you live in Alabama, let's use Atlanta, Georgia as an example. If you live in Georgia, we can get you home every 7 days, where our over-the-road division, that one's usually 2 to 3 weeks out at a time. So you have a couple of different options out of Georgia or Iowa, where if you're out of Missoula, Montana, the only option we have there is our over-the-road refrigerated division. Your miles are there, you still have that minimum pay available to you. And then we also have all of our benefits in addition to the minimum pay. Your rate of pay per mile will be based off of your experience level, but the minimum pay is based off of the division that you're running. And in our over-the-road refrigerated division, the minimum pay is $1,000. So you'll get that. You do need to make sure you're available for dispatch at least 5 days out of the week. No load refusals, no driver service failures, so no late loads. Get your paperwork in on time, and you just send that on over to the payroll department through your tablet. And no preventable accidents or incidents for the week, and no CSA violations for the week. So yeah. Sorry, I saw the comments in there. Yeah, I think they're getting those worked on right now, right? Some trailer issues. So yeah, those are all the minimum pay requirements. And then, of course, if your rate of pay per mile and the miles that you run exceed your minimum pay, then you'll get the better of the two, which is normal. But again, with the weather that we've been getting, and these are questions that we get asked, we don't have weather pay or weather delay pay or whatever you would call it. We don't have that. However, because we have the minimum pay in place, that takes the place of it. So that is right there is what protects you. You know you're going to make at least $1,000 a week. So whether you get the miles or not, if the weather has shut down the road that you were supposed to be going on, that is going to be covered within your minimum pay, because you are available for dispatch. It's not your fault that the weather's not allowed for it, The same as if you had an equipment failure. Now, we do have mechanical breakdown, we have layover, we have detention in the refrigerated division. So yes, we do have those extra pays. So if your rate of pay per mile and the miles that you run exceed the minimum pay, and you also had, say, breakdown or a layover or a detention, you're going to get that on top of the miles. So you'll have all of that on your weekly settlement, which, by the way, your weekly settlement is on Friday. It's direct deposit. Your paperwork has to be in by Tuesday, today, in order to get paid Friday for it. So it's a quick turnaround, so make sure you have all of your documents in. The best thing to do is to get them in as soon as the load has been delivered, and not wait till Tuesday to get them in. Because what if service is bad in the area that you're planning on sending them all over? Then it just won't go through, and we don't want that. So please make sure that you get your paperwork in as soon as you've emptied the load or delivered. All right, so where was I going with that? The minimum pay. Yeah. So the minimum pay is for the refrigerated division is $1,000. The requirements are going to be pretty consistent throughout all of the divisions. Again, being available for dispatch at least 5 days out of the week. No load refusals, no driver service failures, no preventable accidents for the week, no CSA violations for the week, and getting your paperwork in on time. So those are the 6 requirements. Easy peasy. There you go. Just following those guidelines. When you do start, I mentioned you get your mileage pay is based off your experience. You do get a penny raise after 90 days, and then you get a penny raise annually as well. So each year. Now the cap is 70 cents a mile. So if you're starting at 65, you'll at 90 days you'll be at 66 cents a mile, and then annually you'll get a penny raise until you hit that max. So our flatbed division, we do, if you start off at 70 cents a mile, which it is doable in our flatbed division. So if you have over 15 years of experience and you're starting over with us, then yeah, you'd start at 70 cents a mile. You wouldn't see the penny raise in the annual raise, only because you're at our max already. However, you'll still be available. You'll still be eligible for our scorecard and our safety bonuses as well. So we have those. The scorecard bonus consists of several factors, 7 actually: miles, fuel compliance, idle time, preventable accidents, CSA violations, on-time delivery, and driver service claims. Those are the 7 criteria. That is probably the fastest I've listed those criteria ever without reading them. But yeah, those are the 7 criteria, and all of them have weigh a little bit different. Some of them weigh at 150 like miles or 150 points. 1,000 points is the max. That's the total. That's what you're going for on your scorecard. And this is our monthly bonus that'll pay you up to an additional 4 cents a mile. So miles are at 150. You've got idle time, preventable accidents, I think, are 200 on CSA violations, claims, and then again, the point system on idle time and fuel compliance are based off of a percentage. So they have tiers. Tiers as in TEIRS, not TEARS. But we'll be talking about bonuses more next week, mostly because the payouts will be coming out next week. And if you haven't already, log into your tablet. You should be able to see the scorecard and review that. Review it with your driver manager. And if you have any questions or if you see a discrepancy, please reach out to them right away. We definitely want to take care of that and address that on that. And with the weather the way it is, now those numbers are from last month, so from December. But the weather the way it is, you will need to reach out to fuel compliance if you have any questions on the idling and stuff like that. Okay, or reach out to your driver manager and they can address it. Okay. Benefits all start after 60 days. You get Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's an 80-20 plan. In addition to the 80-20 plan, you also have short-term, long-term disability options. You do get medical, dental, vision, prescription through Blue Cross Blue Shield. Well, Blue Cross Blue Shield is the medical. Dental is Delta Dental. Vision is Vision. And then you've got the short-term, long-term disability, accidental death, disability, critical illness. Those options you can add on to as well. There's company-paid life insurance, and then you can up that if you want to increase it as well. We have a 50% match on the 401k. Hey, Flatbed Trucker, how are you? We have a 50% match on the 401k as well. All starts after 60 days. So that's in effect. I'm trying to cover on all the benefits. Oh, and back to the monthly bonuses as they bounce around here. You've got the scorecard that pays anywhere from 1 to 4 cents more per mile as a company driver, 1 to 3 as an owner-operator. And this is earned, you guys. This isn't something that everybody receives for the bonus, but it is definitely attainable. I'm going to sneeze. Okay. So it's definitely attainable. Now, the safety bonus is based off of our lytic system. And our lytic system is, it's a large safety system that's part of the truck. It does include both inward and outward facing event recorders as lane departure, speed gauge, so following too close. All those things are monitored. And the camera, the inward and outward facing event recorder, is not a live feed. We don't have all of the extra or the add-ons. So we don't do the live feed. That's one thing we opted out of, is what I'm getting at. And it will kick on for a critical event. So it'll re-record over itself. If you have questions on that, please feel free to ask so that we can get that answered for you. Give me 1 second here. I knew that was coming, sorry. Hopefully I didn't get your ear. So that's the safety bonus. We also have the safety bonus is a penny per mile on all the miles that you completed for the year or for the previous month. Please make sure that you are looking over the safety as well as the scorecard and asking your driver manager if there are any questions that you might have, so we can take care of that. And also, if you're new to Decker and you have an ambassador, please reach out to them that as another option and review your scorecard. And that way you can ask questions on how can I improve, what can I do better, and maximize that payout, so I can get a full 5 cents a mile on all the miles for my monthly bonus. So yes. Michael says, do you have refrigerated out of Chicago? Michael, it's been a while. Yeah, we do have refrigerated out of Chicago. We've got a couple of different options actually. In the Chicago area, we can actually get you home every 5 days, and then 2 days home, or 7 days, 2 days home. But we also have the over the road. So if you are looking to stay out 2 to 3 weeks at a time, that's an option as well. Of course, bring your truck home with you on your home time. We do have the terminal in Hammond too, if that's needed for you guys to bring the truck to. Yeah, but yes, we do have refrigerated. Now, depending on which position you're looking at, the minimum pay is going to be a little bit different. So if you're looking to be home every 5 days and refrigerated, or even every 7 days, your minimum pay is $700 a week versus $1,000 for our over the road divisions. That's 10, 11 days plus out. So again, depending on where you're at is what that home time is. Are you taking students or refresher training? We do require, like if you haven't driven for the last 12 months, we do require that you have at least a refresher course in order to qualify for us, and a valid Class A CDL. And then you would go with a trainer in order to qualify after you've done the refresher course. Yes, we do take students. Again, if you are a recent graduate of an approved school, then we will train. It's 3 weeks with a trainer. So you've got 1 week of orientation. We pay you $500 for the week of orientation. That's in Fort Dodge, Iowa. We'll take care of your transportation and your hotel and meals while you're here. And then for the student, after the 1 week of orientation, that pays $500. Then as you're training, it's at $100 a day, so it's $700 for a week for orientation or for training. And then once you're done with the 3 weeks of training, then you'll be able to go solo. And at that point, if you are over the road, then your minimum will be $1,000 a week. If you're home every 5 days or 7 days, then your minimum would be $700 a week. But your rate of pay per mile will be based on your experience. So if you are a student and you're just starting out or whatever, then your rate of pay per mile would be at 53 cents a mile 52 cents a mile for refrigerated. And then you get a penny raise quarterly as you grow there. Very good question. But yes, we do take on students. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a wait. I do know that thankfully we're seeing the industry is seeing some growth coming back. That's always nice for students coming in, but there are waiting times, so we have to have an available trainer in order to bring you in for orientation. So we do have a limited number each week of those who can start, but obviously that is the case for pretty much everything. You gotta have a truck for it, right? All right, sorry about that. So yes, we do have it, but best thing to do is to speak to one of our recruiters. This is the telephone number, 877-433-2537. And if you speak to one of the recruiters, they'll be able to tell you if we have a available trainee or trainer, and if that trainer, when that trainer will be available. Okay. All right. So if you have a current valid DOT physical, we can use that physical when you're starting on. But if you do not, then we will need to set up the physical along with the drug test before you come into orientation. So once you're approved, normally what we do is we set up a physical and your drug tests. We do both the hair follicle and the urinalysis. And then with the physical, if yours is good for another 6 months, if you've only had it for a couple of months and it's good for another 6 months, then you'll be fine as long as as long as it was good for at least a year total. Otherwise, we'll just set up a new one. If you're about to expire, then we'll want to set it up anyway. It's just way easier. Mostly because what we do, one of our policies here at Decker is when it comes to renewing your physical, when it gets to about that time, we give you, we definitely give you a heads up. We want to make sure that your physical is renewed 30 days in advance of the expiration date. And there's good reasoning for that, because there are a number of locations, states, DOT offices that just are not caught up, and there's so many delays. And it helps to prevent getting stuck on, the roadside or out of service because your renewal information didn't get updated by the state, or your old physical expired and they didn't get that updated. So it does happen, and the best way to do that is to make sure that your physical, your DOT physical is not only updated, or is not only renewed, I guess, but also updated within the state 30 days in advance of the expiration date. So it saves us. It saves you. So Jesse Rosado, that's a good name. I'll tell you what, you even spell it right. Jess says, hey there, I'm a future employee. I'll be starting CDL training early spring. It's a good time to start, or is it a good time to start trucking? And how soon should I start the process of getting hired on? Okay, great question. If you are starting the CDL training, the course in the spring, I'm going to throw numbers out here, or dates at least. If you're going to start in April or May, then you're probably looking at a June available. You'll have your valid Class A CDL by June, probably, if I'm looking at dates right. When I start school, they say 6 weeks, I'm told. Yes, that sounds right. Usually at least 160 hours. So yeah, at least 4 to 6 weeks is very, very common. So once you've graduated, because you have to have a valid Class A CDL, you have to have completed the school. So say you're done with that by June 1st, making the dates easy here for me. So if you're done by all of that, or with all of that by June 1st, then we can schedule you, have you approved and scheduled as soon as the following Monday. That said, we cannot fully get you approved until you have your Class A CDL. So if you are somewhere where you graduated on a Friday and the state hasn't updated the records to show that you have a Class A CDL, you wouldn't get to start Monday, because it wouldn't be updated enough in the system. But if you graduated on, say, a Monday or Tuesday or something like that, and the state did update it, we did get a copy that it had, like a verification that it had been updated with the state, and of course the valid CDL itself, then we could start you as soon as that following Monday. As for when to start the process, we can do our due diligence and get most of it done ahead of time, but they truly couldn't give you an approval until that Class A CDL is in hand. So it can be pretty quick. If you've had several jobs in the last 3 years, or 12 months, first of all, we look at 12 months and then we'll look at 3 years, and then we'll look at 10 years. If you've had several jobs in that time, obviously they're not going to be driving jobs, but then we would evaluate whether or not we'd be able to move forward with that. if you have more than 4 in the last 3 years, is that right? I'm trying to remember. Then that would disqualify you. Let me double check make sure I'm not. Yeah, 4 jobs in the last 3 years, 8 in the last 10. That's what our requirements are right now. And so you need to make sure that you would fall under that. I would apply before you finish your Class A CDL, before you finish your schooling. Just know that if you end on the end of the week, it'll probably be a week before you start. It is quite quick to get you approved. It's the waiting list for the students that takes the longest. So the sooner you give us a heads up, the better. But until you're actually in school, we can't get the process going. And your application is only valid for 30 days. So that's another thing to keep in mind. For instance, if you gave us a call the second week of May and you filled out your application, you're going to graduate on my calendar isn't set up, and you're going to graduate the last week of May, then we have obviously 2 weeks to get you approved contingent on your valid CDL, right? And then we have to look at our training schedule. Who's going to be available? When will the next one be available? Can we start you that week? And then we'll have you on the list of when you can get started. Okay, so it would be tentative. Flatbed Trucker says, becoming a trucker was the best thing I ever did. Got my CDL 9 years ago, and I can drive manual transmission trucks too. Awesome. Trucker, yes. I would say coming out in spring is probably a great thing. Gives you a little bit of time behind the wheel before winter comes along. And then of course, once you have winter that comes along, you're like easing into it, getting used to it, making those adjustments. Personally, I feel that that's the best time to start. I'd be interested to know what some of our professional drivers, our experienced professional drivers, are, if they feel the same way, if spring is going to be the best time to get started in the industry. And it's usually busier as well. Do you still reimburse for school? Yes, you're welcome. Yeah, we do. The reimbursement for school is up to $6,000 total. So if your schooling was only $5,500, then we'll pay up to $5,500. But we pay you back in increments. After you've been here for 90 days, we'll pay you $200 a month until that amount is paid off. So you'll need to bring in your financials for the school, just the school, not anything else, but just the school, showing how much it costs. And then once you've been here for 90 days, then we'll pay you $200 a month. But we pay you because you've already taken care of the financials, and we're paying you directly for that reimbursement. And it's not taxed because it's a reimbursement. What's the average age of truckers at Decker? Whew. I don't know. I know years ago it was around 55, but I don't know what the average age right now is. It's not something I've looked at, to be honest with you. It's a very good question though, because then it kind of gives you an idea of, okay, how many people are going to be retiring this year, that kind of thing. Although everybody retires at a different age, right? We do require, speaking of age, we do require our drivers to be at least 21 years of age because you're running over the road, interstate. So, yeah, the average age, I don't know. I would say, we've got a couple guys over 70. And then we have quite a few young ones. I don't know. The average age of trucks trucks. Thanks, Katie. Average age of trucks, it's about 18 months. So we have some 2020s. Those suckers are getting out of here. By the way, if you haven't checked out our Decker truck and trailer sales, if you're looking for a new rig, you can go and check that out. Jordan will get with you and talk shop, right? So that's for the trucks. 2020 and newer are what we currently have. But again, the 2020s are the ones that we're replacing. We've got 2024s that have been coming in. Sorry, Michael. Um, yeah, trucks. You wrote trucks. It was my own. I was correcting it with Flatbed Truckery wrote. Whatever. Okay, I messed up. We're fixing it. So, yeah, so the trucks are about 18 months is the average age. What if the school you went to paid for the CDL, would you still pay it back? If the school that you went to, I guess it would depend on the circumstances. For instance, if another company paid for your school, then you're under contract with them. And we wouldn't be able to hire you until that contract had ended. So whether you pay them back or you pay or you do your time, are employed by them for a certain amount of time. So yeah, if you're under contract, we wouldn't be able to move forward. But if it was the school itself, like on a scholarship, yeah, I mean, it'd be based off of what you paid. I guess that's where the financials come in. Back to the truck question. Most of our trucks are the 579 Pete's. We have some 780 and 760 Volvos. The flatbed, we have some 740 Volvos, and then we have a few Freightliner Cascadia Evolutions. Now, I know we have a variety, but I would say 95% of the fleet are the Peterbilts. So, at least 95% of the fleet are Peterbilts. Good chunk of them. And they have, that's what you were thinking? Oh, yeah. Yep, for the schooling. And then with all of our trucks, not just the Peterbilts, but with the Volvos and the Freightliners as well, they have APUs and inverters. They have bunk heaters. They have refrigerators, microwaves, Epic View satellite. So the TV is a 22-inch TV. It's a smart TV with Epic View satellite TV programming. Decker pays for that. We have Sirius Radio, all the hookups there. It's ready there, but you would have to have the subscription for the Sirius Radio. We just carry it for everything else. And we have the tablet in the truck. With the tablet, there is free Wi-Fi, so if you prefer to stream instead of use Sirius, a lot of people do that as well. So that's an option. We have CB units in all of our trucks. Our trucks are double bunk, which is nice if you don't have a passenger with you, you have extra storage. And then of course, if you have a passenger, you get extra room. So yeah, double bunk trucks. We have, I think I mentioned CB units, air ride on both the passenger side and the driver's side. So a little bit of comfort there. So James, Eugene, Oregon. Hello, how are you? Eugene will fall in, not currently. We're not currently hiring out of Eugene. In the past we have, that is usually our over-the-road refrigerated division. But right now we're looking, Portland is about as far south of that we're hiring out there in the west. Yeah, what is the weather like over there? Cold? Everybody's like, it's cold, period. No matter where you're at. So, what else equipment-wise? We do, sorry, I wasn't fast enough on mute on that one. We do have some solar panels on some of the trucks and trailers for that matter. If you're wondering what that is, we still have APUs on the trucks, and those are diesel powered APUs. However, the solar panels that we have are there to help extend the life of both the reefer unit and the APU. So they're there, but the APU is still diesel powered. The solar panel just helps to give longevity to the life of the APU. APUs work hard, you know? James says it's very icy. I bet it is. Did you guys see the meme? You never know if I should repeat things. You see the meme where they were, the kid was doing Brodies in the big parking lot, learning how to drive on ice? Yes, I'm thinking that's a good idea. Maybe not. No, Okay. James says, is Arizona a good area for Decker around Bullhead City? It is. Ooh, I was gonna say it is not, but give me a second actually, because that might be Bullhead City. I gotta look up the zip code. I don't know it off the top of my head. Off the top of my head. Okay. Boom. Where are you at? 86429. Nope. It is not. Nope, that's not an area that is good right now. We do have some. I think Vegas has been added to us. Let's try to see. Give me a sec here. I'm going to run some numbers. Let's see. So, why did that not work? I'm going to try this one more time. 2 Vegas. Yeah, that's just too far. I was trying to see, I couldn't remember how close the two of them were. And I thought maybe it would be close enough, but yeah, it's just, James says he stays out about a month or so. Better, we'll keep checking back. Yeah, check back if you would. And what I can do, another thing that we can do is we can speak to the recruiting department and the head of operations and see. So it is between Laughlin and Needles. Yeah. I go off of, I was going off of Vegas because we currently hire out of Vegas. That's going to be the closest thing. But if you're not within a 25, pushing maybe 50 miles, there isn't a way that, I mean, we just wouldn't be able to make that work. And I couldn't remember how close you were. So anyways, currently, no, we don't hire out of Bullhead City. The fact that you're out a month at a time might work, but it is definitely a harder area. I know with the Las Vegas area, 3 weeks is definitely the turnaround there. So, and currently anywhere else in Arizona is not, we're not currently hiring out of. We're full. Full there, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, where was I at? I think that's it. But if you guys have more specific areas that you want me to run, let me know. Throw the zip code out there or city and state, and I'll be able to tell you. When anything out in the west right now is just part of our over-the-road refrigerated division, so we don't have any flatbed out west. We do, however, have a lot of flatbed, especially in the Midwest and the Southeast. It's still over-the-road flatbed, but you're not really running west of Denver in that one. Thank you. These are awesome. Awesome. Good. I'm glad you like them. I feel like I know you all, even though I've never met you. Good. I don't know if that's good or bad. Well, that's the good thing though, is when you start with a company, I mean, I don't like the unknown too much. You know, you want to prepare, you want to know what you're getting into, but yeah, it's good company. I appreciate it. That's awesome. All right, you guys, before I lose my voice completely, I will let you go. We'll be back next week and answering questions on our Facebook page. So if you have more questions, please go visit us there. I will continue to respond to the chat in the Messenger as well, and Facebook Messenger, as well as our chat here on on YouTube. So we'll be back here Tuesday on our YouTube channel, noon Central. You guys be safe, stay warm, but please take care. All right?